Typically, when an athlete leaves the sport that they've been doing for decades, it's been the center of their life. It is a very difficult transition. And that sport is their identity, their whole life, physically, emotionally, nutritionally, in every way has revolved around that sport. And it tends to be a really surprisingly difficult transition. Now, granted, his $375 million contract to be a sports commentator with Fox can really help ease the pain. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not feeling sorry for
Right.
him by any means, but at the same time, emotionally, to give up your identity as an athlete and move into this different kind of time in your life is a big deal emotionally.
So how does he make this as painless as possible for a guy who obviously loves football? I think as much as you could love anything.
Yeah, well, there are a few things. First of all, some therapy with someone, either a sports psychology consultant or a therapist who's familiar with athletes and what that retirement transition looks like, could be really helpful for him in terms of not slipping into depression or anxiety. Or sometimes sports stars like him, when they have all that kind of free time, can get into trouble with drugs or alcohol or all kinds of things that they are kind of avoiding feeling their feelings about retirement,
Yeah.
and they have the access to these things and can get themselves in a lot of trouble. So therapy is really important, creating new structure in his life that revolves around different things, whether it's health and wellness, his family, new hobbies, travel, anything like that is going to be really good for him. And then also really embracing his new role as a sports commentator and kind of figuring out what that means to him emotionally and how he makes that transition in terms of his identity is going to be key. Retiring or leaving a sport is incredibly difficult, and most people don't think about it. I myself am a former elite level athlete as well as a sports psychology consultant. And what most people don't realize is that when you're an athlete, you wake up thinking about your sport, you eat based on your sport. Your whole structure, whether it is school, college, training, work, all revolves around training time, being available for your sport, having the energy for it. Everything you do, you eat, you sleep, you live, you breathe your sport, and that is your total focus. And when that is no longer your total focus, people tend to be lost for a while. They tend to really kind of be free falling until they find structure and have some therapy to get them centered.